So we let that ferment for a week, and then we raise it up a little bit to try and get rid of some of the diacetyl. And then we give it some nice warm maturation time for another week and a half. And then once we're all happy that it's all done, VDK's clear, the yeast look healthy.
VDK,
VDK
for the people playing at home?
Diketones. So,
which is?
It's a compound that yeast excrete under stress, and they reconsume at the end of ferment. So we allow the temperature to rise, and then we allow that process to happen. So VDK or diacetyl is like a butterscotch kind of character that it happens in most beers, and the yeast reconsume it. It's particularly important in lagers to make sure we get rid of that, because cold temperatures you get a lot of that forming. And a nice clean lager, you will see it.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you create more of it, and there's nowhere to fucking hide it.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
So critical step for that process. And then once we're nice and clear and ferment is completely finished, then we start chilling the tank down. And then the biggest difference with this beer to most beers that we make, most of our beers take around 3 weeks in the tank from brew day to packaging. This beer is going to sit in the tank for about 2.5 months.
Oofed.
So we're giving it plenty of time to condition in there. So we're going to allow the yeast to flocculate and drop out completely. And giving it time to do that basically allows the yeast to actually clean up the beer a little bit better. Fully settles out, so we get a nice, clean, crisp beer.
So the final act of the yeast is just to make that beer that little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 2, you know, where he drops himself down, like, gives the thumbs up, like, last step, I've sacrificed myself for the greater God.
Absolutely.
Greater good, rather.
So they're doing something, even though they've gone dormant and dropped to the bottom of the tank.
Bless them.
They're absorbing compounds, they're excreting compounds.
And in keeping with the season, right? You know, that's fucking so good.
So we love the yeast. They're fantastic.
So that's the process, right? So the lagering, the yeast, the final step of the yeast, bless it. The old school techniques with the new school technology. It's a good time. Celebration lager coming out, ready for Christmas, goes with everything. Get around it, get keen, because he is and I am.